And we're back with another plugin versus hardware, and today we are going to take a look at the Warm Audio EQPWA, which is a clone of the famous Pultec EQP1a, which I've got a plugin of. It is the Pultec EQP1a by UAD. I am using the Spark version today. A great thing about the Spark plugins by UAD is that you don't need an actual Apollo interface anymore to run the plugins, but now you can just get the plugin, authorize it through iLok, and you're good to go. For today's comparison, I want to make it as realistic as possible for the setup you might have at home. So normally I would run all my outboard gear through the RME ADI2 Pro FS converters, but today we will be running these through the Apollo 16 Mark II converters. So I've got that all patched in, the session is ready, so let's take a look at the differences between the hardware by Warm Audio and the plugin by UAD Spark. But before we head into that, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Alright, so question of the day, what is Pultec EQP1a? And yes, I did mean for that to rhyme. A Pultec EQP1a is a passive EQ. They have pretty broad strokes, they're really smooth and warm and nice, and that's why we like them. The EQP1a is a tube EQ, and as you can see on their website, it has quite a few tubes as well as a lot of transformers, it seems. So that's quite the package. It has its own very unique way of EQing because it utilizes a boost and attenuation on the same frequency. Now that would mean that it boosts 30 Hz and then it attenuates on 30 Hz as well. Now that doesn't mean that you are canceling out the boost with the attenuation, because the attenuation frequency is actually set higher in the frequency spectrum. So if we start at the left side of the Pultec EQP1a, you can see that it has a low frequency dial. On top of that, it has a boost dial and an attenuation dial, and those are linked because with that, Pultec can do its very own little trick that is really useful to tighten up your low end. Because if we look at this and we dial up the boost, you can see that it is just a regular low shelf. But then if we dial in the attenuation as well, we can see that there is a dip happening a bit higher up in the low mids that actually tightens up that low shelf boost. So that can be a really useful way to tighten up that low end and really dial in those lows where you want to have them. Then if we continue from there, we've got the bandwidth, boost, and high frequency. Those are connected together as well because the boost determines how much of the selected frequency gets boosted, and the bandwidth determines the Q factor of that boost. And then the last band of this EQ is the attenuation over here and the attenuation select. So you've got 3 frequencies to choose from in the attenuation, and that is 5, 10, and 20 kilohertz. Alright, so let's have a look at the Warm Audio EQPWA. The first thing that stands out is that it is a smaller unit. It is only 2 units high instead of the 3 units that you get with the Pultec version. Another thing that stands out is on the low boost section, you've got the same frequencies as on the original Pultec 20, 30, 60, and 100, but they also give you 200, 400, and 800. Then on the high frequency side, the frequency selection remains the same as on the original Pultec, and we've got the same dials going from 0 to 10. On the high frequency attenuation dial, or cut as they want to call it, on the Warm Audio, you can also see that we've got more cutting frequencies to choose from. So on the original Pultec, we've got 5, 10, and 20. And on the Warm Audio, we've got 3, 4, 5, 10, and 20. I couldn't really find which transformers the Pultec is using on their EQP1a, but the Warm Audio uses Cinemac transformers for both input and output transformers. The EQPWA by Warm Audio uses 2 tubes in its circuit, the 12AX7 and the 12AU7. The Pultec EQP1a uses those same 2 tube models, but they've also added a third, the 6X4. Okay, I think I've had enough of all the technical specs and seeing what the differences are. I'd rather have a listen to what the differences are. This comparison is going to be a blind test, so you'll see that I've got everything routed to two auxiliaries, auxiliary A and auxiliary B. One of those is the hardware behind me and the other one is the plugin. I will not be revealing which is which in this video on YouTube, but I will be revealing which is the hardware and which is the plugin over on my Discord. I will be dropping that link down below, so if you want to know which is the plugin and which is the hardware, head over to my Discord to find out. Our first file is a drum loop from the Drums That Knock X Pack by my guy Decap. So let's see what the differences are between the plugin and the hardware. Alright, that was a great first comparison. If you think you know which one was the plugin and which was the hardware, please drop it down in the comments, and who knows, you might be right. For the second file, I've actually got a sneak peek for you from a track that is not actually out yet. This is the bass track from the song Change Your Mind by Dafne Adriana. I just finished this mix. The song will come out later in January, but she allowed me to use it for this plugin versus hardware, so thank you, Dafne. And let's head into this. Let's see what the differences are between the plugin and the hardware. I always love the EQP1a on bass. It just adds that magical touch, and dialing in that low end is so nice. And of course, we cannot have a Pultec comparison without running some vocals through it. So I've got the vocals from the track Temporary by my guy Vince the Vogel. There is a mix breakdown on my YouTube channel if you want to see how I mix this song. We'll go over everything from mixing the drums to the vocals to the master bus. But for now, let's run this through the plugin and the hardware and see what the differences are.
The time that we share right now, that is temporary. The love that we feel right now, to me that's kinda scary. Cause if I let you in right now, the loss I cannot carry. The time that we share right now, that is temporary. The love that we feel right now, to me that's kinda scary. Cause if I let you in right now, the loss I cannot carry. The time that we share right now, that is temporary. The love that we feel right now, to me that's kinda scary. Cause if I let you in right now, the loss I cannot carry. The time that we share right now, that is temporary. The love that we feel right now, to me that's kinda scary. Cause if I let you in right now, the loss I cannot carry.
That was great. I always love what the Pultec does on vocals. Before we continue, I am really curious how big you think the differences are. So let me know down in the comments if you think it is an insane difference, or if you might as well use the plugin instead of all that hardware. Alright, so the Pultec is a program equalizer, and your program is also known as your 2-bus. Today we've got the track Gelukkig nieuwjaar. Yes, we are still Dutch over here. By an artist called Linde Schöne. I just finished 2 albums of hers, including one Christmas album that included this track. So let's see what the plugin and the hardware do on her final mix. And that was the comparison between the UAD Spark Pultec EQP1a versus the Warm Audio EQPWA. Let me know in the comments how big you think the differences are. Is it a night and day difference, or could you do with either the plugin or the hardware? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Before I sign off, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. And if you want to know which one is the plugin and which is the hardware, head over to my Discord. I will post the link down below in the description, and there you'll be able to find out per file which is the plugin and which is the hardware. That was it for me. I'll see you on the next one. Later.